hello there. This past weekend I was at the Greater Cincinnati Numismatic Expo in Sharonville, Ohio. While I was there, I was interviewed by JB from CoinOpp. Stay tuned and watch that interview here on Coins Making Sense.
All right, guys, we're going to do an interview now. One of the whole reasons of doing this show is not only for giveaways, not only to show some coins, but the education piece is very important to Mr. Lawson, to CoinOpp, and to the CoinOpp community. So I'm going to bring in a special guest that is going to come in here for an interview. We're going to talk coins. We're going to talk grading. We're going to talk, thank you, sir. We're going to talk all kinds of stuff. Sir, come on in. I'll let you introduce yourself.
All right. Hi, I'm Kevin from Coins Making Sense.
Kevin's from Coins Making Sense. Kevin has been a part of the community for how long?
Approximately 2 years.
All right, 2 years. And what is in the? Let's dissect it this way. When you first started, how did you start?
I started on a shelf in the bedroom, literally with my hands in front of the camera, and I was just doing a couple of unboxing videos.
Unboxing of?
Like I called it Mail Call Monday.
Mail Call Monday, nice.
And pretty much it was whatever I was getting in through the mail at that time.
Nice. And let's go back to when you started actually collecting coins.
Oh, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Have you seen the Millennium Falcon coin? Wow. Wow. Guys, I'm trying to get this gentleman that's selling a Millennium Falcon coin to come out here so I could at least show it to you.
It's a sight to behold.
It is. If you're a Star Wars person, it's just amazing. It's amazing. Anyways, so you've had your YouTube channel for 2 years.
Yep, I've been collecting since 1987.
Nice. And what's your all-time favorite coin to collect? What's the one or two that you're like above all else?
Right now, I am in love with Walking Liberty halves.
Walking Liberty halves.
And I just find them very understated.
I agree.
Because, I mean, it's a series that everybody's in love with. But there's no information out there on them. I found one book, and it was dated 1993. That's unacceptable.
To me, the design of the Walking Liberty half is, if you want to talk about a coin that captures America, right?
Yes.
You got on the obverse, you have the Walking Liberty lady, draped in a flag, gorgeous. On the reverse, you have a picture of an eagle with all the details and the feathers
and it's just unfurling its wings, and it's like
it's amazing.
About to take flight. It's about to take that big push up.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I mean, I'm a big quarters guy, but the Walking Liberty half series is truly underrated, number one, but the coin itself captures the beauty of everything that we're trying to do. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just, yeah.
And if you see any high-grade examples out there, it's like waves hitting on the ocean.
Yep.
And it's just so gorgeous. It's breathtaking.
I have a funny story about that.
Oh.
So, I'm a member of a Facebook group called CoinCube Trading. If you haven't checked it out, you should.
Yes.
And one of the biggest things that I respect about Mr. Lawson, that drew me to him and wanted to be friends with him forever, is Mr. Lawson has this theory of when he sells coins. Let's say this Eisenhower silver dollar. Let's say the gray sheet bid, or I'm not going to get into prices too much, but let's say this coin is worth $35. Mr. Lawson has this rule that he tries to sell coins where there's still room for the buyer's investment to grow. So if this was an absolute $35 coin, I'm just making this up, Mr. Lawson will sell it for 29 or 31 or whatever. And the reason he does that is he wants people's investment to be able to grow. And, it's just, it's people like that I'm drawn to. Well, the Walking Liberty I just got, it was a 1935 MS 67.
Wow.
The gentleman was selling it for whatever price. I immediately went to PCGS, the price guide on PCGS. I looked at the price guide on PCGS and I went back to that posting and I was like, I just said, is this the price? Are you sure? And he said, yep, I'm sure. And I commented, bin. I bought it right away. And I said, this is why I love people like Mr. Lawson and CoinCube Trading, is because we want this hobby to grow, but we also want people to feel good about their purchase. We want people to feel like they've made something, they've accomplished something. And so that's my thing about.
I mean, it's exactly that. I mean, you want the customer to be happy with what they've purchased. Mm-hmm. You want to be happy with what you sold. Mm-hmm. I really appreciate when I'm able to put out a quality product. I ask myself, would I want this in my collection? If the answer is yes, then I will proudly put it out there in my display.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's why guys like Kevin and Mr. Lawson and all the fine channels that are here, it's all about not only growing the hobby, but, when we sell stuff
thank whoever else bought that.
We want people to know that they didn't overpay. They paid for something that their investment is immediately going to grow, and that's a big thing. It's a big thing to me. I'm drawn to people in this community that have that mindset of, if I sell a silver round and spot price is $20, well, I'm going to sell this thing for $21, dollars to make $1 or whatever. But that way, the person that bought it, if silver goes back up, and silver goes to 23 or 24, they made money. To me, that's what it's all about. It's all about, you said it best a second ago, just, would that feel great in a collection, and would somebody be happy? Besides the Walking Liberty, what else is your favorite?
Beyond the Walking Liberties, I collect proof sets.
Wow, proof sets.
So, I mean, I started when I was a kid. I mean, I learned about coin collecting from the Boy Scouts, mm-hmm. and got my merit badge, and it just kept growing from there.
Yep.
And eventually, I had a 1936 dime that just looked beautiful.
Wow.
I thought it was beautiful. My grandma gave it to me. Mm-hmm. It was in a nice holder. You figure your grandma gives it to you. It's in beautiful condition. It's got to be the best one out there. Of course it is, but
it was from Grandma. It has to be.
Exactly. So, pretty much, I thought it was a proof. I was disappointed because, mm-hmm. of course, it's just a really gem BU.
Nothing wrong with a 36 gem BU, though.
Oh no, not at all. But just from looking at the proofs listed inside the Red Book, mm-hmm. I was impressed by them, and then when I finally saw them in hand, mm-hmm. I was awestruck. And I always had the feeling that I wanted to collect one from every date.
Yep.
So I was like, this is the best way that I can do that. It's all prepackaged, it's put together by the Mint, mm-hmm. and it is a way that I can collect and have one of each.
So where are you at in your proof set collection now?
Very far down the rabbit hole. Eventually I collected it where I was complete from the current date, mm-hmm. all the way to 1950. Mm-hmm. Then it's like, okay, I'm itching to have one of everything, so I'm a completist.
Right.
I want the Prestige set. I want the Premier set. Silver Premier. Mm-hmm. Silver. Legacy. Everything. So, completed that.
Nice.
Currently, I'm working on 36 to 42, working 1 year back at a time. And fortunately or unfortunately, I'm currently working on 1936.
Wow.
So 37 to date is done.
That's really great. 37 to date?
37 to date is complete.
Wow. That's amazing.
37 to 54 are all PCGS graded.
Nice.
So,
Very nice. I want to pick up on something that he said that's very important, right? Let's say you have a nephew or a son or a daughter or a cousin or whatnot, you show them a proof set, and they're like, oh, that's really pretty. I love proof sets. One of the best things to do is look at the proof sets from the 80s and 90s first. Traditional wisdom would be like, well, start in 2022. Those things can get kind of pricey nowadays. So look at your 80s and 90s and some of your 70s proof sets first. Some of those things you can get for $8, $10.
and depending on where you're at,
Yeah.
5 or 6.
Yeah, depending on what store you're in, 5 or 6. So, because a person might get discouraged if they try to get a 1936 proof set
Yeah.
at the price, and they might get discouraged at a 2022 proof set because of the price. So, I know it kind of, when we start collecting, we want to either work back to present, or history to present, or we want to work present to history and back. But if you fancy proof sets, that's one of the best pieces of advice I could give you is start in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, because those proof sets, you can literally get lucky. You can strike gold.
Yeah.
You can get one for $5 sometimes. On Mr. Lawson's auctions, sometimes he starts the bidding at $5, $7, $8.
Exactly.
And
I'd say 1971 until 1994.
yep.
That's your range.
Yep, and those are the ones that you can get for cheap. And, if you walk into like an antique store, if some of you weren't here earlier when we had Jeff on, Flag City Parts, Jeff had an 81 proof set that was the Type 2.
Oh, wow.
Where he had the clear S.
Nice.
And it was really cool to see that. So if you get lucky and you're in some antique store in Wilmington, North Carolina, right? And they've got a proof set there, and you buy it for $5 or $7 or $8. Well, proof sets have error coins, and some of those error coins are worth a pretty penny. So always keep your eyes out for that.
Yeah, because you do hear sometimes about, oh, this dime is worth $20,000. It doesn't have the mint mark.
Mm-hmm.
Those come from the proof sets.
Yep.
Yeah, if you find a 1980, what is it?
81,
83?
81, 80. I think the no S coins were 81. I believe a 79. Was it 79 maybe?
I want to say 73.
73 no S, yep. So if you
there's a
find
71 nickel that's no S.
Mhm.
But
So-
you find those and you're hitting a
Yeah.
grand slam.
literally, you won the lottery.
Yeah. Lightning has stricken twice.
Don't forget the 1950s proof sets. I found a few beautiful Benjis in those. Absolutely. The 1950s proof sets, some of those could be deep cameo. And if you find a 1950s proof set in an antique store and you buy it for $10 or $12, and then you take that thing, and I would definitely ask somebody's opinion before you send it into PCGS, because that does get expensive for the grading fees and whatnot and shipping. But if you find a 1950s Benji that is deep cameo, you hit
another grand slam.
another grand slam,
Yeah.
because those go for really big money.
Yeah, the way that they were manufacturing the proofs back then, it was very archaic. Today, I mean, you get all the polish, you get laser etching. They come cameo. They're designed for cameo. Back then, at the Philadelphia Mint, when they pressed out a proof coin, it was they literally called it pickling. They pickled the dies, and then they polished it off. And once it started striking, that cameo started to wear away. So it was only there for the most brief moment.
Yep, for
first,
the first
runs.
100. Yep.
Like the first 100 or the first 500 would get some kind of cameo.
So, 36?
1936 is what I'm working on.
So 37 to date you have.
Correct.
It'd be an amazing thing to see. And you're working on 36.
Yes.
Now, how far back do proof sets go?
The modern age of proof sets started at 1936. They took about a 20-year break back at 1916, although there are a couple of 1921 proofs, so don't get me wrong. But those were presentation pieces of the brand new peace dollars.
Nice.
But there was the ancient, archaic way that they were making proofs back from 1859 until 1916.
Wow. Every once in a while, I'll see a proof coin from the 1800s, and I'm like, well, they didn't do proof sets back then.
Well, surprisingly enough, the very first proof set that was ever sold by the U.S. Mint was sold in 1892.
Really?
Columbian Exposition in Chicago.
Interesting.
They had one example set out, and there was a doctor in Chicago that purchased the set because he wanted the complete set.
Wow.
So 1892, 1893, that celebration took well over a year.
Yeah.
So at the end of the presentation, at the end of the festivities, he bought the proof set that they had on display.
Cameos are hard to come by, but when you do, wow, I have about 20 and they all look great and graded. I agree, Anthony. When you get on that label deep cameo or cameo, but deep cameo, you really have something special. When you see that deep cameo, you're just like, oh my goodness. Like you're just like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
You know what? The look of the cameo from that time period is far different than the cameo we have today.
I would agree.
I mean, it's more like it's chiseled in there. It's like it's in granite.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, today it's manufactured. It's on there by design.
I agree. So you say that you're currently working on the 36. I think that there's a lot of people that would benefit from how are you doing that? How are you trying to acquire, assemble? How are you trying to put together that 36 proof set?
Well, the way that I do it, because there's so much ambiguity when you get to raw coins from that age, because there's only a couple of thousand that were even minted. So I do buy them preserved by PCGS or NGC. That way they are verified and they're validated, and it gives peace of mind. So what I'm going to be doing, I just finished the 37 set. Finally found a 37 Buffalo nickel.
Wow.
And Buffalo nickels are very exorbitant in their price. Close to the one I think I got for $800, and it's a 64.
Wow. Proof 64.
Proof 64.
Wow. Can you imagine if you had a proof 68?
I've seen those.
You're talking tens of thousands of dollars, probably.
It's impressive.
Wow.
Most impressive.
Very cool. So yeah, guys, I mean, proof sets, definitely if you're going to get the youngsters into proof sets, like Kevin was saying, focus on 71 to about 90-ish, 93, I think, is when they were.
93, 94, 95 was the first rare date.
Yeah, and 95, from 95 on, all of a sudden, then you had the prestige sets, and you had the silver sets, and you had they started jazzing them up.
Well, that started at 92.
92, okay.
So yeah, they started in Well, actually, the first time that they jazzed up the set was '83, because that's when they started the prestige sets.
Right. Okay.
So if you haven't seen a prestige set yet, it's pretty much very similar to an actual proof set. However, it does include the commemorative coins that were created that year as well.
Yes, please. Awesome. So the proof sets, the walk-in liberties. What's your last one that you're just like, love it?
Loving it. Honestly, I have to go back to the Indian head sense. I mean, it's one of the first coins I started collecting as a kid. Just love the design. You got all the elements still there in very good condition. You have a majority of the elements there.
Have you seen Mr. Lawson's double strap?
Oh no, I have not.
Okay. So on earlier, I put it on the video. Mr. Lawson, right now at this show, has an 1895 MS64 red brown Indian head penny double struck. Double struck.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go over and.
Yeah, I mean when you hold that thing in your hands, you're just like, wait, what? Like, yeah. The condition that it's in is unbelievable. MS64 red brown, guys.
That's remarkable.
Yeah. B, the fact that that's not sitting in somebody's coffee can or sitting in the deep recesses of somebody's attic because their grandfather just threw it in there because it looked different. And it's graded. I think he was NGC. It was one of those soap bar.
Oh, but I mean, he got a straight grade.
Yeah. MS64 red brown.
I'm gonna have to go see that.
It is a sight to behold.
It's worth the price of admission.
Exactly, and then admission was free. But yeah, so Indian head cents, walk-in liberties, and proof sets. And this man has a proof set from 1937 all the way to now, which is an incredible collection. And he's working on the 1936.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to do videos on these?
Eventually, yes.
Got to share that with us.
Yeah.
Got to share that. I want to check it out.
I took the 1937 proof set to my local coin club, where I'm on the board, and I just put it out for show. And yeah, it was
a lot of oohs and ahs.
A lot of oohs and ahs. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I would love to see some videos from Kevin on some of these proof sets. Because to see a 1937 proof set, I think my jaw would hit the floor. Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Well, just that I'm looking at getting some more content out for my channel. Actually, I had a premiere this morning at about 11 o'clock this morning Eastern for what I've been picking up at the most recent shows.
Nice.
Last week I was over at Cleveland Coin Expo and at Detroit Coins and More.
Very cool.
And found a lot of good slab coins, found some really nice walkers.
Very cool. If you, one of the things that drives content is when you do a series. You know how like Mr. Lawson does his latest series was coins from like 1964. Thank you so much. Yes. One of the better ways to drive content is if you did your proof set series and you start, either current day or work your way back and come to the current. But yeah, if you did a 5 to 8 minute video talking about each proof set, I know I'd tune in for that. I don't know about you guys, but I would tune in for that. So if you're trying to create content, you have a lot of content.
Sounds like I have something to base that from.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
If you check out his videos that he did on like 1973 or it's really cool. If you guys haven't seen this, Mr. Lawson for a while was doing coins from a certain year. And what he would do is he would say, here's a penny from 1973 and the price of a home was this, and the price of a gallon of gas was this, and the price of a dozen eggs was this. And so what that did was it allowed him to highlight a coin from a certain year, and it also gave you kind of a snapshot into what America was
going on during that year.
So with
That's
you,
an excellent idea.
Yeah. So with you could be you could start the Kevin Makes Sense proof set series, and I know I would tune in for that because I mean, to be able to see the amazing amount of history. It's one thing to have a proof set from 81 or 79 or 2022, but to see a proof set from the 50s, the 30s, that's going to get some views. So if you're looking for content, you actually have all the content you need.
Sounds like yeah.
Yes,
There's
sir.
a series there.
There is. Anything else you want to add?
You know what? I'm good. Coins Making Sense is currently on the march to 1,000 subscribers. And just this past Wednesday, I kicked off a video for getting some shout-outs.
So I haven't seen that video yet, so I will definitely tune into that. So Coins Making Sense is getting real close to the 1,000 subscribers. So if you don't have him, please go check out his channel. Look at some of the things that he has. If you're interested, hit that sub button, hit that bell when he releases stuff, you'll get notified. Kevin?
Yep.
Thank you.
Sir, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure.
Yes, it has.
Awesome. I can't wait to see some of these proof sets.
You got it.
Got to see it.
So there you have it. We were talking about coins. We were talking about origin stories. We even went to a galaxy far, far away. So, if you like interviews with coin channels, or if you just like hearing about coins in general, modern mint releases, some bullion thrown in there for good measure, why don't you hit that subscribe button? And you know what? If you like those kinds of videos, hit that bell for notifications from new content for Coins Making Sense. Also, we need to show YouTube who's boss. We need to get more likes onto these videos. So make sure to hit that thumbs up. Show us the likey. We need to show YouTube's algorithms who's boss. Alright, so that's all for today. I'm Kevin, here for Coins Making Sense. Your spot for the dissemination for information at the Numismatic Nation. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good day.